Erika trained to become a Christian? Again, this is my personal opinion. It's my podcast. But given what we've learned about Fort Huachuca, an intel base that literally trains Christians, I'm asking myself, was she just training? Was she training to become a Christian? Was she training to be able to impress people like Charlie by just always having a Bible verse? Now she can't even get out a sentence without making it somehow a Bible verse or a holy in some degree. And there's something that registers to people as off about that. I want to know, who is her pastor's wife?
That 1 year where Erika says she went into hiding has finally been exposed. She claims she was on a spiritual retreat where the only person who saw her was her pastor's wife, who quote unquote poured into her.
So I locked myself in my room, basically turned into a hermit for about a good 8 months. The only person I would see outside of my family was my pastor's wife, and we would go to the church and she would just pour into me every single day.
Sources are now revealing that during that period, Erika took a special training to become a Christian. Some are even saying that her original religion is Islam, but she converted, allegedly. So the source of these claims stem from a video where Erika whispered something under her breath, and in the transcripts of said video, at that very moment, was a hidden Islamic word. The date was September 12, 2025, just 2 days after Charlie was unalive. Erika took to CBS News to talk about mourning her husband and how her cries as a widow would echo like a battle cry.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
But somewhere in the quiet pauses in between her speech, people couldn't help notice her mention what many now believe to be an Islamic word, which reportedly translates to, "It's going to be a live broadcast."
Did you catch this inaudible part of Erika's speech? Check it out.
Faithful servant.
I had watched this speech numerous times, and sometimes I watch it without the volume on, and so I read the transcript. So it got to this part of the transcript where she said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," and then in the video she cried and she wiped a tear and she murmured something under her breath. So the transcript translated to this, which I thought, that's kind of interesting. So I pulled the transcript on a third-party website instead of TikTok, and it pulled the exact same things. To my surprise, it is Arabic, and it translates to something like, "It's going to be broadcast," or "It's live streaming," which would make sense because when she said that, she was crying and wiping her tears, and she was reminding herself, this is live streaming. I'm live on TV right now. Now, then I went and Googled, does Erika Kirk speak Arabic? And apparently she does not, or it is not reported that she does. That doesn't make any sense.
Mind you, several sources have confirmed that Erika does not speak Arabic, even though she is part Lebanese. Because sure enough, when you go down the rabbit hole, it is reported that nearly 100% of the Lebanese population speak Arabic as its official language and primary mother tongue. So this does not rule out that Erika might be very familiar with the language. And if she is, why hide it? Well, maybe it's because that's what Erika is reportedly best at doing, hiding things, like her buried past, for instance. As we've come to find out via Candace's expose on Erika, some things about her just don't sit right. Almost like a part of her past experiences are scrubbed and forged with new lies, like her job with the Corcoran Group as a real estate agent, for instance. She got her real estate license in October of 2018, which expired 2 years later in 2020. During this time, she reportedly specialized in acquisition and development, but somehow on her profile, she doesn't have one single property listed that was sold or acquired. Now, multiple sources have linked Corcoran Group to Jeffrey Epstein, with claims that Jeffrey was basically using the organization as a shield to pay for CT operations, but that's a story for another day. More on Erika are the remarks she made about people questioning her role at TPUSA. According to Erika, she used to run her own company before stepping in as the CEO of TPUSA. So the CEO role is nothing new to her.
Step away. So let's just listen to Erika lie.
You know, I get this question too of, well, you know, you were a stay-at-home mom and all this stuff, like that's what you should go back to doing or something like that. A lot of people don't realize that before I met Charlie, I had my own company, and I still do. And it was one of those things where I built it in a way where that when I got married and had children, it could run on its own. I didn't have to do day to day. I could check in.
But sources have confirmed that to be generally untrue. Because Erika reportedly ran a failed clothing brand and that hardly passed for a company, neither can it necessarily be compared to an organization like TPUSA that strings in millions of dollars by the day. Even the university where Erika says she schooled allegedly doesn't have her as an alumni in their records. And what about when she said that the least traumatizing part about being a single parent was that she already had the example set for her by her mother, Lori Francevez? We've come to learn that that is untrue too, because Erika was reported to not only have her father very present in her life, but she also had a stepfather who constantly showed up for her.
After Charlie was publicly assassinated, and she confirmed to them that the least traumatizing part about Charlie's assassination was the prospect of her now having to raise her children alone, because she had seen the example set for her by her mother growing up. The only problem is that it's just not true. Erika's father, Kent Francevez, by the way, he's Kenneth Francevez, but he goes by Kent, was always in her life. So much so that for entire years of her childhood, Kent was actually a stay-at-home dad.
My dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years, and I gotta say, it was really sweet and really special. I was 4, but...
Now, to be clear, Erika was 10 years old when her parents divorced in 1998.
Now, the question is, did Charlie ever notice these little inconsistencies in her life? Did he ever see through her alleged lies? Or was he simply bewildered by the idea of Erika presenting herself as the perfect wife? She came with the looks, the intellect, the pageantry award that validates both these features. The Romanian angel's credentials made her look like a philanthropist. But more importantly, Erika was quite on, quote, spirit-fueled, godly, just like Charlie wanted. As a matter of fact, it has been noted that Erika cannot get a sentence out with retorting to speaking about the Lord. And this was reportedly the same tactic she used to draw Charlie in.
He knew that because I was not dating in New York City, he knew that in order for me to know that that was my man, he had to blanket Charlie as a job interview.
However, right now it is being revealed that 1 year ago in Erika's life, when she claims to have gone on a spiritual retreat, she was allegedly being trained to become a Christian. During that period of her life, she claims to have read the Bible cover to cover, but sources close to Erika have alleged that she cannot recite one verse of the Bible by heart. Multiple sources have now dug up videos from her past that debunks the godly image and the lies that she has curated to sustain this image. Her claims that she never drinks or never dated before Charlie have been found to be untrue.
Hey guys,
Please.
we will not let you down.
And what about all the controversies surrounding said pastor who, quote unquote, poured into there during the 8 months that she was away? The man in question is Pastor Greg Laurie, whom Erika partnered with for her Make Heaven Crowded tour. This is the same pastor who 12 Romanian survivors allegedly filed a lawsuit against for SA and CT allegations. And even her other priest, Don Klein, is reported to be guilty of similar misconducts. These are the men who Erika says poured into her.
People are talking about also that, like in your past, you know, there was some allegation of like misconduct or something, and there's no truth to that either. Right.
Any kind of improprieties. So otherwise, so yeah, they would remove me.
Yourself with Bible-believing Christians that will pour into you. Get to know the pastor. Get to know the men's group.
What happens when you tie all of these to the confession of somebody from inside Erika's church? A young lady who claimed that Erika is just as performative in real life as she is on screen. Apparently, she makes it a show of coming into service so that everyone can notice her, as opposed to taking a more private entrance that will only pique the attention of few people.
I've seen Erika Kirk in real life at church since Charlie died, and I will tell you that the performance in real life is as bad as it is on TV. I'm talking reserved front row pew, bringing her whole entourage, not her children, showing up late, tapping her eyes when she walks back from communion because it's the one time that the whole church can see her because she's in the front row. Before you jump down my throat and say, oh, it's security purposes. No, it's not, because this church has a side section that is closer to the exit that she comes in and out of, and where only probably about 5% of the church would actually be able to see her if that's where she was sitting. But no, front row seat, the whole circus. I'm not sure whose idea it was for her to go on this media tour. All it has done is confirm for those of us who were wholly holding on with a smidgen bit of benefit of the doubt that this woman was genuine, out the window. We cannot unsee what we've seen.
If this is true of Erika, then it allegedly doesn't scream the fruit of the spirit that Christians are supposed to possess, especially one that is as godly as Erika appears to be, which once again pushes the narrative that Erika isn't necessarily a Christian, but trained to be one in order to impress someone like Charlie. But to think that she had roots in Islam, that screams of a major cover-up. And we are unraveling the scenes one plot at a time. At the moment, more information continues to be uncovered, but in the meantime, here's what a couple of people have to say. This commenter retorted, apparently her mom is half Syrian Lebanese, and if you go to Israel and serve, everyone knows they learn Arabic in schools. Another added, she spent enough time in Israel, it's entirely possible. And finally, this person concluded, so she does speak both Arabic and Hebrew. If one thing needs to be established, it is that Erika is one extraordinary lady, and she has the internet buzzing. People have been trying to dig up her roots left, right, and center, but a lot of them are deeply buried, and even despite Candace's expose, some of those roots may never be uncovered. Say, for instance, her connection to Jeffrey Epstein and his infamous island. So right now, what matters are your thoughts regarding this. Do you believe that Erika's ties to her Jewish family run much deeper than we know it to? That her act as a dedicated Catholic wife is an act? And what about her continuous ties to men involved with CT allegations? If she is an undercover agent from the Jews or Arabs, then we might be biting more than we can chew with this expose. So let us know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and watch this next video because it gets even messier.